Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the Real Estate Exchange podcast.
You got it. You got the title right.
I got the title right.
On the first try.
Guys, I forgot the title.
We made it.
We made it. Fantastic. Elastic.
Yes.
This is episode 2. I'm Chris.
And I'm Anthony.
And welcome, guys. I hope you enjoyed episode 1 that just dropped last week. Super excited about that.
Yeah, pools, right?
Pools, man.
Yeah. And today we're talking about?
Lawns. Yeah, man.
All the summer stuff, right?
All the summer stuff.
Yeah.
Help you guys out when you need it.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. All day, all night. Day and night, some would say.
Yes.
Right, dude. So we just mowed Anthony's lawn.
We did. There'll be some B-roll of that, yeah.
He went all out, took out his lawnmower, did his diagonal lines.
Did my diagonal lines, yeah.
Yeah, guys. So Anthony, why do you make diagonal lines? That's one question I had. What I do is I go around the perimeter like you did to start. So guys, so you have your lawn, right? Whatever shape it is. Anthony went around the perimeter and then started making these diagonal lines. He didn't if you think of the right angles of his lawns, those lawns are a rectangle. He did not go like in line with, he didn't follow the sides basically. He cut outside the lines and went diagonal. Yeah. And I usually don't do that. Why should you?
So I do it because I have a bird's eye view of my lawn from my bedroom. And I just like waking up in the morning, opening my blinds, and seeing my nice diagonal lines on my lawn. It's like a nice way to start my day.
It's not. There's no technical reason, guys. It's just because Anthony likes looking at it.
It looks sharp, with diagonals. It looks like oof. Yes.
I can see that though. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. So I don't have that view, so I don't do that. Cool. So and then we whippy snippy. Mm-hmm. So we use what's that thing called?
I always call it the whipper.
The whipper, the whippy snippy.
People call it the weed whacker.
I think the weed whacker is the actual thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Comment below if you guys know what the hell that thing's called.
I guess a really important tip about the weed whacker is always wear your safety glasses. You'll see that Chris was wearing his when he was weed whacking. Yeah. It's no joke, guys. Like you'll send rocks flying at like 60 kilometers an hour with that thing, where you can go blind. Like
it's no joke, guys. Yeah, seriously.
It's serious. Yeah.
Safety first, especially when you're doing something monotonous and boring and disgusting. Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Cool.
Little disclaimer.
Yeah,
man. I don't know. Like you, it's funny too because your lawn is so much smaller than mine.
It is.
Like it's almost a pleasure. It was a pleasure to do.
10 minutes.
Yeah, like I could not. Mine is so big. I think my front lawn is literally like three and a half times I would say yours. Yeah. It's a lot.
Easily.
Yeah. Oh my god. Dude. And then the back, because of your ginormous pool.
Yeah, there's not much lawn.
There's not much lawn.
There's just enough for the little guy to take a poop.
Yeah, the little guy's his dog.
The doggo, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess one other thing that we do have to do if you have a lawn. I mean, you don't have to do this, but one thing that me and Anthony do that I got introduced to through him is lawn reseeding.
Yes. And
that was a huge step for me in lawn care. Yeah. I had no idea what it was or what I had to do it or anything about it really before Anthony introduced this to me. And when I bought my property, both front and back lawns were absolutely disgusting.
They were jungles. They were like
proper horrible neglect. So front lawn, I did right away. Basically, I think first year I had a contractor come in, a landscaper, and he took care of everything. Really clean, loved the job. Back lawn, I kind of just buckled down and decided, okay, I'm going to do this myself. We're going to clean it up, and it's kind of been a project over the last 5-6 years. Gone way better, but after showing Anthony my lawn, he was like, dude, just put new sod down, clean it up. Like it's going to be way easier than doing anything else. Yeah,
if you're starting a new lawn from scratch and there's not much lawn to start with, like in Chris's case, like he had just had a couple of trees cut down too. Yeah. So you had like those big gaps of just like earth where like the roots were pulled and stuff. So it wasn't like you had like a half full lawn to work with. if it's just like earth and spots and holes, just guys fill it with some earth, roll down some sod. Sod's like a few bucks per 2x10 wrap, right? And it took us like an afternoon. It was us and my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
A couple of hours and everything was done. Super clean, right?
Super manly too.
Yeah, super manly. In the rain,
raining,
like downpour.
We were blasting 2000 wrap. It was so.
It was a vibe. Yeah.
It was so millennial.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was no. So yeah, so that's basically took care of the back.
Yeah.
And now all I do is maintain that. There was some divots and stuff, so now every year, especially this year, I really focused on filling. I had this gigantic like low spot in the middle, because the guys who cut down the trees, again, like Anthony said, they just kind of threw the logs kind of on the ground. They picked them up after, obviously, but they created these huge divots in the middle.
They did, yeah.
And so I had to fill. I had so many cubic feet of earth in the middle. So now basically all the sod we had got basically filled on top of with earth. So a lot of the grass in the middle actually turned into weeds for like last year. Yeah. And then this year, I filled it up. It's filling out, so it's coming there. It's getting there. So I'm not too worried about the back, but the front. I had actually, so after the landscaper, going back to that, after the landscaper put it in, the next couple of years I didn't maintain it properly. Okay. And so I underwatered, which I learned this year is really hard. It's actually really hard to overwater, I find. I actually found that.
You get mushrooms if you overwater. That's how you know.
If it's too shady and stuff, yeah. But like, okay, so yeah, I guess that's a caveat. But I feel like because my lawn gets quite a bit of sun, both front and back, I don't get any. Like it's actually really difficult for me to like this year, even with the rain we've had for the last 3 weeks. Yeah. I was watering 4 times a day in the back, twice in the front, 2 or 3 times a day in the front.
It's a lot of watering. Automated, right? With your sprinklers?
Automated, yeah, for sure. I don't do it by hand. Yeah. But no.
Yeah, automate your watering, guys. It's a huge lifesaver. A timer is like $30 at Walmart, and it saves you so much time.
And if you want to save even more time, you get one of those like smart home ones.
Yes.
Smart ones. I think when mine die, that's what I'm going to go to. Yeah. Because just that management at the beginning of the year, where you have to change the time sometimes. It's raining. Like we had 3 weeks of rain, I had to run out and change things and want to. Anyways.
Sorry. One thing before we move off from that, guys, be careful because a lot of districts have strict watering times that they enforce, especially in times of drought. So if you don't respect those watering times, you get fined pretty hefty fines. We're talking like $500 was like the initial fines for our neighborhood. Okay. Neighbor got here. Yeah. Really? What? Yeah. So like for example, like my sprinklers go on at 4:30 in the morning because we can only water between 4 and 6 a.m. So like having automated timers is really convenient for stuff like that too.
I have fines as well. Okay. But I think the caveat, and there's something like that. It's like basically really like dusk and dawn.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Which makes sense. It's what you want anyways. You don't want to water it when it's too hot. Yeah. And also when people are around, you don't want to wet people. That's kind of rude. So that the only caveat I think to that in my municipality is that you can do it if you have fresh grass.
Oh, fair. That's fair. Yeah.
So if ever I do, I mean, it's kind of be such a pain in the butt. Yeah. But if I ever do get a fine, I would probably appeal saying I just reseeded.
Yeah. Maybe that's a life hack.
Maybe that's a life hack. I don't know if I save somebody. Great. If not, little tidbit of information. Yeah. So anyway, so going back to it, it's the first couple of years I messed up. I didn't not water the grass enough. I did not reseed. Yep. And I mowed seldomly. Okay. So everything, I was like a triple whammy, like a 1, 2, 3 knockout. Yeah. And so Anthony, with Anthony's help, he helped me reseed properly, showed me how to do the whole thing. I'm gonna try and reseed only once this year. See how that goes. Yeah. But the back's probably gonna take another couple of years before I fill in that hole. Yeah. But yeah, man, I think I finally got my processes down. I have my irrigation system kind of well set up. Good. It's a little bit. It's honestly a bit of a learning curve. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of work, Yeah. Like not only for the size of lawn, but just in general, man. I feel like it's that extra little thing to do. And now I have to mow the lawn like quite often now. Yeah. Like twice a week would be ideal. 2 or 3 times a week would be ideal. Yeah. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna do once. Maybe twice at the beginning, just to make sure like the grass is still growing.
Yeah, just don't cut it too short, right? You never want to mow more than like the top third of your grass. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to cut too deep into the blade because then you expose it and then like it can get. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe I cut a little too short this way. Well, we'll see. We'll see. It's pretty wet, so we'll see how it goes. Anywho, so facts. Actually throwing out facts.
Yeah.
Facts on facts on facts on stacks. Facts.
Yes.
Pancakes.
We talk about the process?
The process.
Yes.
So the process, yes. The reseeding process is step 1. I guess step 0 would be
mow your lawn.
Mow your lawn, I guess no matter what.
As low as you can go. This is the only time you mow super, super low.
Like you basically don't want anything anymore at all. If your lawnmower can rip through the bare earth below it, let it go for it. Just watch out for rocks.
Yes.
Step 1.
Dethatch.
Dethatch.
Yeah.
Dethatching. So, or thatch rather.
Yeah. Well, you remove the thatch, so
right. Okay,
you dethatch with like a thatch rake.
Right. So your thatch rake is a special rake that you could buy at any home center.
Yeah.
Or online, and it's kind of more the teeth. Like if you think of a rake, it looks basically the same except the teeth. So on a rake, the teeth are kind of bent and they're more thin, like sheet metal. But a thatching rake, it looks like a cast blade. So it's a cast that's process. It's a cast blade, very thick material, quite thick material, not very thick, but quite thick material. And it has these round, and the whole tip of it is kind of rounded, so it can get into the ground. And the teeth look like saw teeth. They're really thick saw teeth, and so that kind of helps dig into the grass and kind of remove all like the old dry,
weak dead ones,
grass. Everything that's kind of like just hanging around,
taking up space, basically taking up like fertile space, right?
Because basically the goal of it is to remove all the old stuff so that you could put new stuff down and keep what's there. So save what you have to a certain extent. I mean, if you think it's unsalvageable, I guess going back to stuff, just straight up sod on top, and that's a whole other episode. Yeah. But we could talk about that maybe next week.
Yeah, sure.
Bam. Yeah. There you go. Stay tuned.
Cool.
But so keep what's there, and then next would be step 2 now. Yeah.
So you've mowed down to like the bare minimum. You've dethatched. Now, okay, some people like to then aerate. Yeah. I don't do that anymore. But
you did it once?
I did it with the neighbor who's like a grass god.
Oh, grass god.
Yes, our neighbor is a grass god. We'll show you his lawn one day and you'll be like, damn.
Grass god!
Yeah. But the idea is, so you've dethatched, right? So you've removed all of like the not so healthy blades. And now you have like this space that you then want to aerate and get ready for the new layer coming down. So there's even like the little aerating boots people put. It's like little spikes you attach to your shoes and you just walk up and down your lawn to aerate it. That's like a whole other level too.
So the idea is you basically you kind of overturn the soil.
There you go.
So you get fresh soil coming in. Right.
Yeah, but you don't need to. This is like really like extra. For the pros, So
extra step.
Mow, back to like what we do. So we mow it down short, we dethatch it. Then we throw down the new earth. Honestly, like there's a lot of debate on like, do you get like the turf building earth? Do you just buy whatever's on sale? What do you do?
I go now to the garden center.
Okay.
I do not go to home centers because they rip you off. And I buy, honestly, they don't have a huge selection. I think what I buy is like a rebuilder.
Okay.
It's a bit more expensive. It's not just it's not just basic earth. It has like, nutrient, it has like, whatever.
Fertilizers.
It has things that helps nourish the ground.
Right.
Personally, I don't mind spending extra cash because it's, guys, I'm very simple. I hate shopping with people. I hate the fuss of it all. Yeah. So to me, I don't mind spending a bit more just because it's convenient and it's gonna do the job quite well. Now, do you need it? Probably not. Maybe if you buy a mix of like plain earth and some fertilizer type thing, you could probably just get away with that. In my case, I'm trying to rebuild, so I think it just kind of makes sense, and I don't want to have to buy 15 bags and run around to different stores and figure that out. That's kind of annoying to me. So I just went with what they had. Yeah. But you don't need to. Yeah,
so like here's the catch, right? So like my neighbor who's a grass god showed me all the stuff he uses. So that's what I've been using like on repeat since I bought this house.
You'll be known as the grass god.
The grass god, yes. So what he uses, and consequently what I use and buy, is Lambert's turf builder for the earth. They're about $9 CAD per bag. and I think they're like 18-pound bags. And then I use Herbionic grass seeds. However,
use both those things.
There you go. However, my dad asked me to help him with his lawn. So we did his the same way we do mine. And we just bought the cheapest earth and the cheapest seeds we found at whatever, I think it was like right on Depot or something.
Like $3 each, yeah. But they're really small bags. That's the thing. I think that's another thing to mention is like, like per bag, they're damn cheap, but like they're really small. Yeah. You know? But
all that to say, his lawn looks better than mine right now.
Wow.
So I don't think it makes a difference. But yeah, buy whatever is on sale and just work. It's earth and seeds. It's meant to work together, you know, like don't stress.
I think that most important, going back to the watering thing, I think the most important thing is just make sure it gets water. You know, because not everyone maintains their lawns. Like, and honestly, like once my lawn is at a good place, it's easy, but I won't fuss too much about it. You know, if I miss a week mowing,
it'll survive.
Yeah, you know, it'll survive. And the thing is, I look at everyone in my neighborhood, and they have like their lawns are fine. Like I'm gonna you know, I don't live in a super poshy keep up with the Joneses neighborhood,
right?
And you know, no one does anything, or very few people do. The most they do, the most I see happening is like the mow every month. That's, you know, but it's old grass. It's been there forever. It's like mature, and so I think that's the difference. You know, because once it gets mature enough, I feel like you don't really need to. It might be thin, like the lawn might not be a thick, lush thing. But like honestly, like I don't really care personally. You know, as long as it looks decent. And so like once my lawn is decent enough, I think I'll definitely take a break from that. Like, cause it's a lot of work, honestly, or pay someone to do it or whatever. But I'm lucky like that. I can do it. It's fine. You know, if you can't, you can't. But these. Do what you can, guys. But I think don't go too crazy with it, because at the end of the day, it's just grass.
It's just grass.
And you know, like I have a neighbor. Our lawns are attached, and like my neighbor is a fantastical person. She loves, I don't know what the hell she does, man, but she plants clover, but like big clover, like high ones, and she mixes that with like, she has like flowers. Last year she put down sunflowers, and she like just the most random mix of stuff. Like it looks like a fantastical wonderland. Look, Alice in Wonderland type of thing. Like and so our lawns are touching, right? And
it cross pollinates.
Forcibly I have weeds like that I don't expect, and it's like, where'd that come from? I work so hard to, you know, get rid of them and this and that, and I like, there's only so much you can do.
It is what it is.
It's outdoors. It's nature. It's gonna happen. So don't work too hard. That's another kind of a tip, I guess. But
cool.
So
process steps.
Where are we at now?
So step 4, I believe. So we went through mowing low, dethatching, and then we said lay down the earth, and then you're gonna seed it. And then after you seed it, the last step, which is also optional, is you can sprinkle down some peat moss. For 2 reasons. The first reason is peat moss is hygroscopic, which means it holds water. So when you water it, it'll kind of keep it nice and wet and moist a little bit longer throughout the day. So it gives your grass more time and your roots more time to absorb the water. And the second reason, which is kind of like the hidden reason, is peat moss is very bitter to taste. So it keeps the birds out of your seeds a little bit, because usually that's half my seeds get eaten by birds. So if I'm really generous with the peat moss, which is like super cheap, it's just extremely messy to apply because like this powdery thing. It usually helps my lawn take a little better. And then I think like 2 other like important tools to mention here is, once you put down your earth, leveling it is actually a huge deal. It really makes a difference, right? Like you were saying, if you have holes, the grass doesn't take as well. So a leveling rake is not a bad idea if you want like a really smooth lawn. It helps you irrigate too, so you can slope the water away from your house.
Sorry guys, I think that was definitely a step. Like I think that was an optional step that you could have inserted somewhere at the beginning.
Like
after you mow, put the earth down. So insert that at step like 2 or whatever.
We detach first. So mow, detach, scarify, aerate, do all that stuff, and then you put down the new earth.
And I do that as well, actually. Because again, like my earth, especially my backyard, was very uneven, so I had to kind of compensate for that. And so and then earth is expensive too.
It is. With a yard your size, it adds up fast.
Definitely. I think I spent $100 worth of earth.
$60 on the front and back.
That's amazing.
And I buy the $8 bags. If I bought the $3 bags, they're great. Awesome. And then I guess like one last tool too worth mentioning, which the God neighbor also has, is
God.
the grass god. It's the roll, like the big rolling cage. So he applies the earth. He'll dump his earth bag in the cage and he'll roll it evenly on his lawn. Great way to spread the peat moss too, because it's the same thing. Put the peat moss in the earth roller, nice even layer, beautiful.
Because I don't do that. I did peat moss last year, and I think honestly because I didn't do it with a spreader cage thing. I did it by hand. It clumped.
Yes.
And actually, a lot of grass died because it got too wet. So that's one thing to think about.
Even it out.
In the even spreading tools. Don't do it. I feel. And it didn't really. For me, it didn't really add much. So. But,
fair.
And again, like I said, I'm really just. I just wanted to look decent. I just wanted to repair my lawn and not pay thousands and thousands of dollars.
I think that's the nature of our channel, right? How to get pretty decent DIY jobs done so you don't break the bank.
Like the irrigation though.
Okay, so let's briefly talk about watering and irrigation. So how often should you water after you seed?
I personally, I set my timer for 4 times a day.
That's a lot.
6 hours. But I don't go for long. 15 minutes.
All right.
My lawn. Okay, but here's the thing. My lawn is big, and so by the time that's kind of where it comes down to, like, you have to monitor because I feel like, so my lawn is quite big, and with the one my one what do you call it, the sprinkler? The thing is, I have to set it to a wide setting, right? To get everything with the one sprinkler. I'm cheap and I don't want to set up 15 hoses, guys. So I have the one sprinkler in the front. And the thing is, its passes take forever, right? So its cycle time is quite long.
Right.
And so because for the same pressure and a half a size lawn, you're going to get way more water per square foot, right? Because it's all spending more time. So the thing is, my one cycle takes like a long ass time.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's like one thing. And I feel like my lawn needs it. Because also, another thing I use and why you have to
You get more sun too.
I get a lot of sun. Like, I think from 1 p.m. to whenever the sun goes down, the front's just blasting. Like, it's hot out there. Okay. So yeah, I think that's why. At the back, I need less. Sure. And you could see it. Yeah. So at the beginning 4 times a day, but then I only do it for the first 2 weeks. Yes. Yeah. Right. And then you go to daily. And now it's at I put 12 hours.
Okay. That's good.
Twice a day. Twice a day in the front, and in the back I'm just going to dial back down to half of that. So it's at twice a day now. I'm going to dial down to half of that, so once a day. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Because the back gets quite a bit of sun as well in the beginning of the day, but it's only a couple of hours, and it's not like the sun's not low enough so that it actually gets too hot, I feel. That's fair. Yeah, and it's been good. Honestly, this has been the best it's been, I think, since we put the sod down. Good. Yeah, front and back. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's the last step, I think. Just watering it and then keep adjusting, and that's why I think the smart valves are a good idea. Yeah, timers, sprinklers, automation. And you can do it from your house. You can do it from anywhere. You could be home. You could be at work. You could be halfway across the world. True. And totally. I think it's totally worth it. Yeah. I don't know how much they are though. I think they're actually pretty penny, to be honest. Yeah. I think like at least 3 times as much as the manual ones. For sure. Yeah. But it might be worth it. It depends on time worth, I think. True. Exactly. Yeah. Optimally for reseeding, you'd actually want to do it twice a year. So like early in the season and late in the season. When your lawn's like healthy and mature, you can get away with doing it once a year. Like mine now, I usually just do it once a year in the spring. Depends on you how like OCD you are on your lawn too, right? Because I feel like because you did it properly the first time. Yeah. Rather, you did it properly in the sense that you did it properly and then you maintained it properly. Yes. Yeah. And you could get away with that now. So I feel like that's kind of the goal I'm looking for. Yeah. I'll get there.